Hey, what's up? Welcome back. My name is Selena, and I am a mobile bakery owner of a business called Embellish Dough. I am trying to get back into fitness full time, and I am sharing things all about lifestyle, fitness, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, all the things. So I wanted to do this video um, to share some of the struggles that I had in 2024 and my experience with plantar fasciitis. So it was something that self-diagnosed the end of July 2023. So around July 2023, I noticed that my foot was like really starting to bother me. I'm on my foot a lot, of course, because of baking and making dough, all the things, standing, making macarons. So I stand on my feet a lot. And I know when I initially started, um, a lot of times when I started out of my home, I would either barefoot or really thin shoes. Eventually, after baking and realizing that I'm going to be on my feet a lot, I made sure that I had support on my feet. So again, 2023 July, I started having problems with my feet. And so I looked it up and I'm like, I think I'm developing or have plantar fasciitis. So again, I self-diagnosed and also self-treated. So wait, before that, back it up. What is plantar fasciitis? I'm not sure. So again, I'm not an expert, so let's look it up. Plantar fasciitis is an inflammation of the fibrous tissue, plantar fascia, along the bottom of your foot that connects to the heel bone to your toes, okay? It's a condition that causes the heel pain and inflammation of the plantar fascia. Again, that line, hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can get my foot up. So I think it runs along here. And so that's where I start initially having the pain. Right now, it's right here. So again, hopefully that made it in the frame. But so I would walk on my toes for my left foot. And it didn't bother me when I ran initially. Only when like standing for a long periods of time or just simply walking, like that irritated it. But because I guess when I run on my toes, it didn't irritate my toes, or it didn't affect my running at all. So I bought some UFOs. I did some research online, and I found where people said that they had it helped or it completely went away by just purchasing some UFOs, and I didn't bring those to show. There she is, and I'm not going to get it. I brought down some of the other things that I use, but I bought the really thick ones, sandals, and so I would wear those literally everywhere. Here at home, as well as when I went out. If it was a little bit colder, I wore socks. So just for that cushion, after a while, those didn't work. So again, July 2023 is when I really start noticing and start looking into things to help alleviate some of the pain. Well, November, December is usually my busy time for my bakery. So that's a lot of times I'm on my feet a lot, doing a lot of markets. And so by the end of that season, I literally scheduled appointments for all the things that when I get busy, I neglect. So one of those was to schedule an appointment with I want to say a podiatrist, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think a podiatrist. But so I went there, explained what my issue was, gave me a steroid shot, right? So at this point, I'm like, alleviate any of the pain from my foot. I'll do anything. Like it was really starting to bother me, affect my working out at this point by December. So it felt great. Once I got the shot, maybe a couple days for it to kick in, and then it started feeling a lot better. January, went all throughout January again, still working out, still running. And I had a follow-up appointment I had a follow-up appointment February. And so it just always seems to happen where you go and I'm like, it's feeling great, feeling good. But I started to notice like maybe a little bit of pain, but not much, where when I went to my appointment, I was like, everything is, still good. And he's like, even when I went initially, he gave me some stretches to do, use my bands, do all the things, right? I did it a little bit. Get on the bottom or get on the top of a step and then like let your feet hang down or whatever, to again stretch that part of your foot. And so again, a little bit doing that, not as how I should. And then went to my follow-up appointment, said everything was great. And then he said, continue to do your exercises. Fast forward to maybe a week later. And then now I really noticed like, okay, it's starting to come back. And so I didn't want to schedule another appointment because I'm pretty sure it was like get a steroid shot, wasn't looking to do surgery or anything like that. But at Orange Theory, I was still working out there and just becoming a coach the end of January, beginning of February, a coach again. And I talked with them about, or I was talking to one of the members who was having issues with, I want to say her elbow. And at that point, I was starting to have tennis elbow, where again lifting a lot more, and I felt like a tension in my elbow. She mentioned shockwave therapy, so did some research, and then she gave me the person that she was going to locally. So scheduled an appointment for my foot as well as my elbow. And shockwave therapy, I'm not gonna look that up and do give you a definition of it. You can do your own research, but I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like some machine where it's like literally like shocking you. Like, so it was very painful. Okay. But at this point, like, I'm like willing to try anything because again, trying to avoid going back to the podiatrist. And then he's like, you got to have surgery. So I I want to say maybe 6 to 8 treatments. I did notice that my tennis elbow felt a lot better. Like I can, lift heavy and it not bother me. And so like it worked. And also with my foot, where it started where in my arch, when I was going to like, that's where I felt it. And that's where your plantar fascia is. And so it moved from my arch to my heel. So I know the shockwave therapy helped, because now still to this day, like I feel it in my heel, but nothing like when I would, again, when you first wake up with plantar fasciitis in the morning, like that first step is like very painful. And then once you take a couple steps or start moving around a little bit, it levels out and it's not as bad, but it's just those, using the bathroom a lot, drinking a lot of water, that doesn't help. So you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and then you step down and it's like, oh my God, like the pain of it all. And so, the shockwave therapy again helped it move from my arch to my heel. Well, I eventually stopped because I didn't feel like after a couple sessions, I want to say maybe 8, it wasn't improving. Like I feel like I was stuck in the same spot. So I'm like, all right, I don't think this is no longer working. So then I went to a chiropractor, got adjusted, figured maybe, that may help, and along with my whole body getting adjusted, but also my foot. And I'm not sure necessarily if I noticed any significant changes getting adjusted for my foot. And then I hadn't had an x-ray, I don't think at all. Because when I went to the podiatrist, he did an ultrasound. And in the ultrasound, he saw whatever he needed to see in order for me to get a steroid shot. But I never had x-rays. So anyway, I eventually, from my chiropractor, they did an x-ray on my foot, and they said that I had a bone spur, heel spur, again, Google, to figure out what that is. But it still does feel like something is like protruding, like when I step, like protruding through my foot. So I still feel like I have a heel spur, bone spur, whatever. But again, I no longer feel it in the arch of my foot. And so again, got adjusted. I went and saw someone else. I went back to the podiatrist and he explained to him what was going on. He never took x-rays. And then he was like, you need to have like a small procedure. I want to say it was plantar fasciotomy or something like that he was like, just a simple procedure. But anyways, I would have foot surgery. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I want pain relief. So let me do it. Well, I had we do the market on Saturdays called Soda City. And I saw one of the old members at one of the studio that I used to coach at the other side of town, and he is a physical therapist, and I was telling him what I think he is. I want to say physical therapist. I'm pretty sure he is. But anyways, and so I was telling him what I was dealing with, and then he I went outside the truck, and then he was like, are you sure, like, have you gotten a second opinion? And then he was like, that's a, pretty big procedure. And so he, I think I probably had on my UFOs, and he was like, if I'm like pushing here or moving your foot this way, like you would feel it. And I'm like, I don't feel pull or stretch. And he was like, you may want to get a second opinion. So anyways, after I talked to him, I think that's when I got the x-ray. And then he also reached out to one of his colleagues who also, again, was also used to be a member at the old Orange area that I used to work at. And so, and at that point, I shared with them after that the pictures of the heel bone spur, and they were saying that I think you shouldn't. They advised against having surgery, and I'm so thankful for them. And I decided not to have surgery on my foot. And then she suggested that some of the things that I did, I get a boot. So like, again, I bake. And so she was like, when you are at home and baking, just to take and alleviate some of the pressure off your foot, wear a boot. And so I wore this. And this was probably like, I want to say April, May-ish. That I, saw him, reached out to him, and then also her. And then also before that, I was like at night or when I was like off my feet, a little dusty because I hadn't used it in a while. I bought this foot massager probably in 2023. I think I got this in 2023. One of the things that I was like treating, and along with the UFOs, I bought that and this foot massager, and it needs kneading and air compression, so it squeezes it, and then also kneads at the bottom of it, and it also has a heat component to it. I didn't ice it like I should and like people suggested. I like warmth, so I may have wrapped my foot up in a heating pad. Again, not icing it like I should have. But so along with, again, relieving some pressure off, and I would, like, along with baking, I would coach. And so standing on my feet for 4 hours, like as soon as I would come home, I would have to sit down and just get off my feet and really, and take, just give my foot a rest from coaching back and forth, 4 hours straight. That was a lot. So I was doing that. And then, all throughout the summer, again, I'm wearing the boot. And then, I forgot who, one of my friends sent me a video. I think my friend sent me a video. I don't think it was Antavis, about, yes, it was one of my friends, Synovia. Shout out to you, girl. Black castor oil, that video of a lady talking about, I don't know if it was just black castor oil or just castor oil in general, and how this, or castor oil is great for, I want to say heel spur. I don't know if she said plantar fasciitis, heel or bone spur. And so I did start rubbing this on my foot. Still do it to this day. Not as often as I probably should. It should be a regular routine daily thing. So who knows, maybe this has helped alleviate some of the stress and pain of my foot. And then, as well as, I have these balls. We had one prior, and I'll also use a tennis ball, but Antavis just recently got me this, and then I found this with a handle, which is a little bit easier for me to do myself. I bought this from Aldi's. And this, you can use it at room temperature, or you can put it in the refrigerator to get it a little cold. I'm pretty sure you probably can do the same thing for this too. So again, I would use the oil and then massage my foot. And then, like I say, I still do that to this day because I'm not 100% healed, but it's so much better. Like 2024 was rough on my body. Okay. Like it was rough. My foot was not my friend. And so, those are some of the things that I still do. So went throughout the summer, and then I want to say September or October is when I started back at Icebox. And Icebox, again, Google. If you don't know, it's a place for cryotherapy. So I looked into doing, and I've been looking at videos online about ice bath and the benefits of ice bath. And I was going to get like one of those Rubbermaid tubs from Tractor Supply or somewhere and just make my own. And then there was another company, I forgot the name of it, that I was looking at to purchase an ice bath. But I'm like, do I really want to invest in that? And where was I going to put it? If I invest in it, like, would I really sit in there myself for 3 minutes and make myself stay in there? So I toyed back and forth with that. And then I was like, you know what? Let me join back on Icebox. The owners of our local one also goes to Orange Theory. So I started talking to the owner and telling him about, you know, some of the issues I was going with, and they also are dealing with. And he also, you can, when you go there, you can get like localized treatment and stuff specifically on certain areas that you want to, you know, or to treat. And so, but yeah, so I joined there, and then I want to say between, again, like September, October, November, I started noticing where after I coached for 4 hours or however long I would coach in the morning, like I wouldn't need to come home and sit and rest. And so, and then I noticed that a couple times, and I'm like, wait, like my foot. Oh, and I also invested in some Hokas. I invested in 2 pair last year. I think I bought a new pair in September. So that was my second pair, but I had got some earlier in the year. So that also helped. Like when any shoes, like that was the only shoes that I wear. The cushion in that again helped. And I also got inserts. So again, back it up a little bit more. When I went for my follow-up appointment for my podiatrist after I got in February, he gave me some inserts. Those things were hard and awful. They're upstairs. I probably should have bought them. They weren't the best. And so initially, like I didn't wear them, but after it just didn't improve, then I finally started inserting them into my shoe, and they were uncomfortable. But eventually I just, again, sucked it up, and I'm like, whatever will help my foot alleviate some pain. But also once I got realized that, and I got an x-ray and I saw that I had a heel spur. I also got some gel inserts that were that help with that at the bottom of it, it was like a circle or ball, again, to help alleviate some of the stress and pressure on the heel of my foot. So those are 2 other things that I use. Okay, so I decided to go upstairs and grab my inserts that the podiatrist gave me. So these are the hard inserts that I was given by my podiatrist, and I would just switch it out depending on whatever shoe I wore. I would switch it, and honestly, it wasn't much pain relief using these inserts. I found that the Hokas felt a lot better without it, and a lot more relief on my foot. And again, once I had the x-ray and saw the bone spur, again, this is the pad, something I just picked up from Walmart. Again, it has the insert out for heel, so or where the heel is, so you know I'm not putting, like, it's alleviating some of the stress and pressure on my heel. So this is an insert that, again, probably less than $10 that I got from, it came with two pair, I want to say. Again, I found one of them. So, but yeah, so these are some 2 other things that, again, like I mentioned, that I use as well, but how much it helped me, I'm not sure. So hopefully they may help you. October, November, again, I started noticing that I didn't have to sit as soon as I got done coaching. So I knew things were improving. So whether it was a combination of everything I did last year, or the latest thing that I added was the Icebox cryotherapy, and as well as this black castor oil, my foot started to feel so much better. So hence now 2025, where I'm back jogging at Orange Theory, and I ran my first 5K this past weekend, and did a lot of self-care for recovery on Sunday after my race, again, to prevent any injury. Doing preventative stuff now, and also still trying to heal whatever's left of it. I still feel it a little bit, but it's not in my arch, it's just my heel, but it's not nearly as what it was. Usually around the house, I'm having some type of sandal. I try not to walk around flat-footed, but I have something on my foot, even if I move around the house, because if not, I do feel it a little bit, but it's not painful. And the first step in the morning is not, oh my God, ouch, like I feel like I'm stepping on nails or something like that. So maybe if you're dealing with plantar fasciitis, or heel or bone spur, try some of these things, some of the things that have helped me, and maybe they can also help alleviate some of the pain and inflammation from your foot. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you made it this far, I thank you. I appreciate you watching. Most importantly, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.